So I'm out front of the DC jail. There's a lot of reporters, a lot of people. They still haven't released the folks that are in the DC jail. And there are prisoners from other states that got out last night that have come to support. And they still haven't released these people. And what I'm gathering, it's because they're using the excuse that they haven't been convicted, therefore the pardon doesn't apply to them. That's not right. That's not right. Every J6er around the country has been released from other prisons in other states, but not here in DC. Not here in DC. And that's what's going on here.
Guys, get here. As Will get here at this hour, he's standing out here in a pair of jail slippers.
And Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's standing here in jail slippers in Philadelphia's finest, and yet we have people still locked in there. Somebody get this right. These defiant, corrupt, no good pieces of you-know-what have to be held accountable for this kind of behavior. They have tortured our American citizens. They have destroyed what we believe is a constitutionally correct path, and this can't stand. David Clemens, come on. Look,
we're just happy you're out.
This guy, another one of our heroes that's released. How do you get here from another state to come stand here at this vigil and ask where the people are? How do you do that?
Sir,
Justify.
what's your name and title, please?
Trennis Evans, I found his Condemned USA.
January 6 hostages, President Trump signed a pardon yesterday, demanding that they be pardoned, all of them, and released. We've already had to deal with paperwork issues with Coloradans. Last night we were able to expedite that and get them free, but now we're waiting on 22 hostages here in this jail, and according to the United States Marshal, he's dealing with them one by one and getting all the paperwork. So, I would love for President Trump, for Attorney General Pam Bondi, step in and help us out here with the U.S. Marshals and make sure that it doesn't become a paperwork issue. These men have already paid too much time, more time than they ever should have. They should have never been locked up. I was on a news interview and someone was asking Trennis, one of our January 6 hostages that's on federal probation until President Trump signed the pardon. And she asked him if he regretted January 6th. And I stepped in and said, you know what I regret? I regret what the media did to lie about the events of that day.
Amen.
I regret the American people weren't allowed to know how many federal agents were present in the crowd. I regret that the tens of thousands of hours of footage that was recorded at the Capitol was not released immediately to the American public. I regret the livelihoods that were lost, the time that has been spent locked up unjustly, the amount of time in court and on probation and defending defending oneself against something that they shouldn't have been had to defend. I also regret that the American people weren't allowed to see the police officers that were opening gates, opening doors, escorting people into the Capitol.
That's right.
This day was not what the left said, but November 5th showed that the American people believe us, they believe you, they believe that this is unjust because they knew that President Trump was going to pardon them, and that's exactly what he did. That's the mandate that he received overwhelmingly from America, and that is why President Trump is back. And if there's another regret, I'm sure it's only on the Democrats who are regretting that they didn't just shut up, because now they're finding out. They messed around, if you will, for 4 years, and now they're finding out.
Have you talked to Pam?
I want to thank you. I have not.
Okay.
I'm open to talking to Pam, but I think there's higher ups that she needs to talk to other than me. I want to thank you all for being out here with them. We have a few things to do at the Capitol. We have some votes to do tonight, and I'm hoping that these guys are out before I'm able to return, and if they're not, I'm coming back. I want to
Illuminati. Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feast, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati. I'm going to eat and talk to you at the same time. This bagel is from Wild Bagels, 1901 Stillwell Avenue. And you could get one of these by calling them at 718-333-WILD, or stop in at the before mentioned address and pick up one of these babies yourself. Beautiful on the premise baked bagel with bacon, egg, and cheese. Nice little accent of salt and pepper. And I'm going to eat this while talking to you at the same time, because we're in a dilemma, folks. We're in a dilemma. Well, hold on. Let me give this bacon to Cosmo. We're going to give this piece of bacon to Cosmo right now. Come on, eat it. Yeah, he'll eat it. Anyway, cats love bacon. That's why posts about cats and bacon go so well together on Facebook. But anyway, other than that, we're doing good. But just one thing and one thing only, and this really pisses me off. This thing that pisses me off is that even after the pardon on all the J6ers, I mean, a few exceptions. Some are awaiting trial because they've actually assaulted people and stuff. But there's 21 that have not been released as of right now. As of right now, I want to say this in a statement here, because I've done my research. I've looked on the internet like everybody else. I've read the New York Post. I've watched Fox News, Blaze TV, News Nation, Newsmax, and yes, January 22nd, 2025, 11:45 a.m., they have not released the 21 political prisoners that sit in a D.C. jail that are being punished for the January 6th protest. That they claim was an insurrection. That they claim was a threat to our democracy. When those were just Americans sticking up for America innocently. And the footage you saw there, I want to give credit to the man whose Instagram handle is Joe Likes America.
for that wonderful footage. He's got himself. He's got some local politician there, and Congresswoman Lorena Bobbitt from Colorado showed up there to the D.C. prison. And these people are just straight up psychopaths that are trying to keep these people and punish them. And punishing them for what can't be any more American, man. Can't be any more American. There's so many levels of hell where the Democrats belong. And you fucking guys out there, you've seen it now. They want to define the presidential pardons. If I was a prison guard there, I'd just start opening up the cells. Whichever ones are known to have January 6th protesters in there, I would just open up the cells, let the 21 guys out myself. Let's think about it. Think about it. You're a prison guard. You release him. Any commanding officer comes to you and asks you what the hell you're doing. You just say, presidential executive order, pardon these men. And unless you want to go into the cell and do time yourself, it's probably best to follow the presidential executive order, because that takes precedent over everything. Unless, of course, God swoops down from the heavens and has something to say. Then, of course, you listen to God. I've always said that if God and Barack Obama told me two different things, I'm always going to listen to God. Barack Obama would want me to still listen to him, but I would listen to God. And yes, there are so many levels of hell where the left belongs. And can we stop saying there was an insurrection? There were things we need to, these little ooga booga grass skirt bone through the nose tribal myths that we have to get over. Yes, and I said that just to be offensive. So, yes, these ooga booga grass skirt bone through the nose myths are spectrum of genders. That's one. The insurrection of 2021. Okay, that's another. Global warming. Man-made climate change in the weather. That has nothing to do with, an indoor thermostat. So many other things. The southern strategy. The party switch of 1960 or something like that. The notion that the parties switched, and long time ago the Republicans were the good guys, and they've never, and then after 1960, when the racists started getting mad at the Democrats, the Republicans picked them up and they've never been the same since. Yeah, that's a bullshit story. That's a bullshit story. And people pushing that narrative, they need to have me wearing my MAGA hat on horseback, riding past them with a whip, making sure they're doing their chores in the hot Carolina sun. That's how wrong those bastards are with that party switch theory. Nixon being a crook, he was a decent, honest man. And that's actually what his downfall was. He was too honest. And too loyal. And so, these are the things you got to get over. And if you don't get over these things, you can't move on, you can't move forward, you can't come to the all-important hetero-white messiah realization that the Republicans are not only the good guys, they're the party of the right to life, because they're the party of people who deserve to live. They are the party of humanity. They are the party of human beings. They are the party that has more respect for God than any other political party on earth. That you're not going to find Democrats. You're not going to find somebody who can be an honest Democrat and an honest Christian anymore. Because the two do not... the Democratic policies and Christianity no longer coincide. Okay, the Democrats are more interested, and I will always say this, they are more interested in the woke ideology than they are of common sense, bare basics, grassroots needs of the American. They don't care. They don't care if Hank is doing overtime trying to make ends meet and still struggling. They only care that there's a woke teacher in the kindergarten room of his son, little Billy, with his blue wig, bikini top, parachute pants with the little thong rising above the waistline, leaning over to little Billy, telling little Billy, maybe you're meant to be a girl. This is a threat of American society that looms over it constantly. And yes, this is why it was made so important that Donald Trump had to sign an executive order saying that there are two genders. Donald Trump had to sign an executive. He had to do it. Because so much out there was threatening this basic fact of life. And as I said, people need to get over that gender is not a social construct. It's not a spectrum. And people need to release those 21 gulag prisoners in DC. Nobody in America should die like Coach Red Pill. Even Coach Red Pill, who didn't die in America, should not have died like Coach Red Pill. If Ukraine was such a free, sovereign society. They let that man die in prison. Those bastards. That's another thing. That's another reason why I'm glad that old bastard is gone. That evil old prick. That pardoned scumbag Dr. Fauci. And his scumbag family. These are people who are not good for America. They're not good for humanity. And they will all, one by one, have a reckoning with God. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share this content. If you're an unwrinkled, attractive young lady, hit me up. Let's get busy. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. Be good.